Hello and welcome to another session in mathematics. In this session we'll be looking at algebraic fraction, but before that let us take a review of our previous lesson. Welcome back. Our objective today is to learn how to simplify algebraic fraction. So we'll be looking at simplification of algebraic fraction. Okay, let us look at the rules we need to apply when we have algebraic fraction. The first thing we need to do is to factorize the numerator and the denominator of the fraction. If it is possible, we factorize. Okay, and then after that we need to divide the numerator and the denominator by the common factors. Okay, we divide the numerator and the denominator by the what? Common factors. And the process of dividing the numerator and the denominator by the common factor is what we call cancelling a fraction. Cancelling what? A fraction. Okay, when a fraction cannot be reduced any further, we say the fraction is in its what? Lowest or simplest what? Form. So at that point you stop doing what? Solving. Any point where a fraction can no longer be reduced, then you've gotten to what? The lowest form or the simplest form. Okay, so that is the introduction. Then let us look at some things you need to bear in mind while solving algebraic fraction. When simplifying a fraction, you must remember the following facts. The first thing you need to remember is that x squared minus y squared is equal to x plus y into x minus y. Okay, if you expand this bracket again, you still have x squared minus y squared. So bear it in mind that x squared minus y squared is equal to x plus y into x minus y. Okay, then when we have x plus y squared is the same thing as x squared plus 2xy plus y squared. We have x plus y and we have x plus y. That's x plus y squared. Then opening the bracket, x times x is x squared, x times y is xy, y times x is xy, and then y times y is what? Plus y squared. Is that correct? And therefore you have x squared plus this is 2xy plus what? Y squared. You see, that's how we got this. Okay, x minus y squared will give us this, and we'll call it what? Perfect squares. Now when we have x over minus y, x over minus y is the same thing as minus x over y. Okay, it's the same thing as minus x over y. When we have minus m over n, is same thing as minus m over n. When we have minus x over minus y, the answer is x over y, because minus divided by minus will give us what? Plus. Minus times minus will also give us what? Plus. Do we understand? So that's how we got this. Then we'll have x over y equal to m over y. The answer is equal to x being equal to what? M. How did we achieve that? We have x over y to be equal to m over y. How did we achieve that? Let's multiply through by y. If we multiply through by y, we have y times x over y equal to y times m over y. Then this will eliminate this and this will eliminate this, therefore making x the subject of formula x is equal to what? M. Do we understand now? So these are the, some of the things you need to bear in mind while solving the simplest fraction. Also, if we have a minus b, this is the same thing as saying minus b minus a. Do you know that? Minus times b will give us minus b. Minus times minus a will give us plus a. For instance, if we have 10 minus 4, it's something as minus 4 minus 10. Minus times 4 will give us minus 4. Minus times minus 10 will give us plus 10, which will still give us what? 6. Minus 4 plus 10 is 6. 10 minus 4 is 6. Okay, so let's quickly take some examples on this. We have 3x squared plus 9 x squared y squared all over 3x squared y. Okay, so what do we do here? We collect we try to factorize the numerator, and that will give us 3x squared into 1. That's, we are trying to collect the common term here, so we have 3x squared into 1 plus 3y squared, such that 3x squared times 1 will give us this 3x squared here. 3x squared times 3y squared will give us 9x squared y squared. Do we understand? Okay, then all over 3x squared times y. 3x squared times y will still give us this. Is that correct? Now this can eliminate this, therefore we have our answer to be 1 plus 3y squared all over y. As simple as that. Oh, you're surprised now, right? Okay, example number 2, we'll have x squared minus y squared plus 3x plus 3y all over x minus y plus 3. How do we simplify this? We start with this. I told us that when we have x squared minus y squared, that is something as what? X plus y into x minus y. Is that correct? So therefore we have x plus y into x minus y plus 3 into x. What is common between these two? We have 3 being common, then we have x plus what? Y. Is that correct? Then all over x minus y plus 3. Okay, now looking at this, we have these two brackets to be equal, so we therefore pick what? One of it. X plus y is equal. Picking one of it, we have x plus y, okay, into x minus y plus 3. If you expand this bracket again, these two brackets, you still get our original equation. Try it. Okay, then we'll have x minus y plus 3. Is that correct? Okay, at this point you will agree with me that this is equal to this. Is that correct? So this will comfortably eliminate this. We'll have x plus y as our answer. Okay, number 3, we have x squared plus 9x plus 8 all over x squared plus 6x plus 5. Now looking at this, it looks like quadratic equation. The only thing is just that it's not equal to 0. Is that correct? So we apply what I taught us on factorization method of quadratic equation. I told us that is what we call the sum of root and the product of root. So from the numerator, the sum of root is the middle term, which is 9x, and the product of root is the first term times the last term, which is x squared times 8, and that will give us 8x squared. We'll find the factors of 8. Factors of 8 are those numbers that can divide 8 without a remainder. So we'll have 1, 2, 4, and what? 8. Now, what are the two numbers out of these factors that when you multiply them, you get the product of root? When you add them, you get the sum of root. You agree with me that 1 and 8 will go. 1 times 8 will give us 8. 1 plus 8 will give us 9. So we are looking at x plus 8x. Do we understand now? 8x times x will give us 8x squared. X plus 8x will give us what? 9x. So we now replace the sum of roots in this equation with what? X and what? 8x. So therefore we have x squared plus x plus 8x plus 8 all over. We'll do the same here and on the denominator. Our sum of roots there is 6x, and our product of root is 5 times x squared, which will give us 5x squared. What are the factors of 5? 1 and what? 5. Is there another factor? No. Now we have x plus 5x. X times 5x will give us 5x squared. X plus 5x will give us 6x. So we replace the middle term with these two factors of x. So we have x squared plus 5x plus x plus 5. then we'll pair them, pair each and every one of them. Okay, if you also expand this bracket, you still get this equation. So what is common in the first bracket in the numerator? Here x is common, and then we'll have x plus 1, such that x times x will give us x squared, and x times 1 will give us x. Then in the second bracket, what is common? What is common? 8 is common. We have 8 into, this is plus 8, into x plus 1, such that 8 times x will give us 8x, and 8 times 1 will give us 8, all over. What is common in the second bracket? Okay, x is common, then we have x plus what? 5. In the second bracket, what is common? 1 is common. We have x plus 5, such that 1 times x is x, 1 times 5 is what? Is 5. Okay, the two brackets here are the same, the two brackets here also are the same, so we'll pick what? 1 1. Then we have x plus 8 into x plus 1, all over x plus 1 into x plus 5. Now we have x plus 1 here, we have x plus 1 here, so they will eliminate each other. We then have x plus 8 all over x plus 5 as our final answer, because you cannot factorize further. You see, very simple. So we'll stop here today. Thank you for being part of today's class. Before we go, let us refresh your memory on what we've done so far. So kindly provide the answer to the following questions on the screen. Welcome back. So far we've been able to deal with algebraic fraction, and we've taken some examples to illustrate how it works. So we'll stop here. Do well to use the lesson note on the platform for better understanding of what we've just done today, and feel free to drop your questions or comment on the comment section. Till we meet again in our next class, stay safe and bye.